Holy cow. Hey, what's up, bros? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers again. You know, I'm overwhelmed again, you know, because I've just got so much stuff going on. As you guys have been watching my videos, the regulars, I gotta get my air conditioning system worked out, you know what I mean? At the same time, I've got this pain in my ass that's been kicking it, you know, for like a week. As you know, I got this thing for free, and the engine was blown, you know. The synchro balancer weight went kablooey, and so I, you know, tore down that engine and parting it out. You know, I could use the parts, you know. This engine is from Pete Lombardi. I did a trade with him a while back, and it's a 12.5 instead of a 13.5. So, it's, you know, it's a good engine that will replace this well, you know. Changed the starter on this, and right now this thing doesn't run right because it backfires and it surges a lot, you know. I ordered a new carburetor just to rule the carburetor out, you know. If it's not the carburetor, if I get the new carburetor and it still runs like crap, then I'm going to try to see what I can do about valves over here. But it's difficult with a flathead, you know what I mean? There's no screws to tighten or loosen. You got to file valves down, you know. But there could be a lot of carbon buildup in there. As you also know, while I was fiddling with this on first start on the engine, this double stack pulley just, you know, after I, you know, impacted it on the crankshaft, just came right out. So some guy told me on my comments that you need a washer that clips onto these 3 little small tabs in there, and that holds it in there. So I was looking around, and I got a lot of washers, but this washer had like 3 little indentations on it, which showed me that I looked in here, and sure enough, there are 3 tabs in here. I'm going to try to get you closer so you can see. You can see one of them there. 2, 3. See it? Those 3 tabs hold a washer that's exactly fitting. See the washer here? How I saw that there are 1, 2, 3 indentations on there. That showed me that this was the washer that went in there, and sure enough, pops right in there like that. So that's why this thing just came out, you know. While I was putzing around today, I did some grinding over here because the paint was all bubbled up and stuff. I got some of this stuff here. It's my favorite. Some Rust-Oleum Sunrise Red. That stuff matches most lawnmowers. I also have to go to Harbor Freight Tools and get 2 new front wheels, because as you see, the wheel came off the hub. Some people said the Harbor Freight ones are not much better, but you know what? Whatever works for the time being, you know. As you also saw, I got that lawnmower that I got for free after I sold another lawnmower to a guy. That one fixed up perfectly. Recoil starter, carb clean, all done. My vac chipper, love it. Love it so much. I did a video on how it worked and stuff. That thing works fantastic, you know. It's such a nice piece of machinery. Maybe I'll keep it. No, I'm not gonna keep it. I got too much stuff. Then there's this thing. I got it in pieces, basically. It's an okay mower, you know, one of those Craftsman Eager 122-inch Easy Walks, front self-propelled. The guy gave it to me for free. Engine was in pieces. Had no gas tank, no carburetor, no intake manifold, no choke or linkages, right? Had to put the muffler back on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I had to do to that. I did it, but I still need, it doesn't start right, and also the prime doesn't work on the carburetor. So I'm going to have to work on that later, you know. Also, from this thing, right, as you saw, I had to change the starter because the starter that was on Pete Lombardi's motor or engine didn't turn, didn't spin it. I mean, it spins when it's not engaged onto the flywheel, but it wasn't strong enough to turn the engine. So I took it off and replaced it with the original starter, and that runs great. However, it bothers me that I've got this here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that the coils inside are like burned out, you know? So I'm gonna take this bottom part off here, pull it out, and see what the coils look like. Because I actually have another busted, starter, but it looked like the coil is in really good shape. The magnet could also be cracked in here. There's a lot of reasons why, while it spins, it doesn't spin with any power to turn the flywheel. Of course, the landscapers come across the street while I'm filming. I'm like, hey, you mother, shut the freak up, man. I'm filming. Can't you see I'm filming? Anyway, this thing's really easy to take off, you know. It's just 2 long studs here. And I can pull this out. Now, when I pull this out, those things, the brushes, are gonna just come out. But whatever, I gotta pull this out, you know what I mean? So here it is. I'm suspecting that the copper coils are all dark. And if they're all dark, there it is. Now you see, that's surprising, man. This coil looks better than the other one. So why didn't it, you know? Doesn't make any sense, man. This thing was not strong enough to spin the flywheel. But it seems like it's okay. Magnets are not cracked. Wiring looks good. Brushes look good. Not even very dirty. Except for that, that's kind of dirty. Well, this looks good. I'm just gonna brush this off and try to put it all back together again. So I brushed the magnets inside, and there was a lot of dirt in there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like cleaning the magnets. That's going to make a little bit of a difference, I think, you know? The strength of the torque and all that stuff. You know, those landscapers were done in 5 minutes. That's easy money, man. You got 3-4 guys working over there. 5 minutes, and they charge like $40 a week just to mow the lawn. Anyway, so I'm going to clean this up. I'm pretty sure it'll probably work a lot better. I'm never going to throw things out because you could always use stuff. This thing was filled with dirt and stuff like that, you know. It was all black. A lot of dust. When it comes to electrical stuff like this, you know, metal to metal contact is very important. This looks good. Got to be careful with this because if you break the copper coil wire, Dunsky. See how there's some rust over here? The rust buildup will get in the way of a good contact. Same goes with like magnetos and flywheel magnets. If it's filled with dirt and rust, it's not going to make a good spark. Same logic goes with this. The contacts to the magnet are not good. It's not going to work as well. That looks pretty good. And then there's this. This is a pain in the ass. That's why I made some keepers to hold the brushes in. So I made these keepers. I got the tip from Pterodactyl at Terrell Fixes All. These are just like you know, some soft wire or whatever, and it's like 1.25 inches this way and 1 inch long, and basically that just holds the brushes in. See what I'm saying? Holds the brushes in while you have it in there, and then when you're ready to pull it out, you just pull it out. So you know what happened? Regarding my air conditioning, I had a buddy of mine who does HVAC, but he doesn't do central air. However, he knows a central air guy. You always go with a guy that's a referral from another guy. You know what I mean? Because if the air conditioning guy knows that you know this other guy, right? It's less likely that the dude will try to screw you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, well, you know, he's a friend of this guy, and I do business with this guy. I don't want to screw the guy, you know. He's going to talk badly about me, blah, 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 you know, and then ruin his entire reputation. So you go with a referral from another guy. So anyway, these two dudes, Franco and James from Independent Air over in East Northport, I gave them a call, man. They came in like 15 minutes, right, because it was on their way to another job, whatever. And they walked over. I didn't even have to explain much to them. They walked over to what I did and zipped upstairs to my closet. And he says, it's in there. I says, how the hell do you know it's in there? He goes, because I was looking at the wires. I just know it's in there. Sure enough, there was a door behind the closet that I've never seen before in 18 years of living here, all right? And so they said, it's a transformer. They didn't even do anything, and they said it's a transformer. I'm like amazed. So then I just, so they're changing the transformer now. I mean, they didn't do anything, and they know it's a transformer. Unbelievable. Right, James? See? So the AC guys just came and left, and guess what? Not thousands and thousands of dollars repairing it. Not even 1,000. Not even 500. Not even 250. 225. Got out of there like that. I'm thrilled. Can you believe it, guys? It was just a transformer. So he changed the transformer. The hard part was trying to find the damn thing where the whole thing was, you know what I mean? But very fair, you know what I'm saying? Very good guy. I'm going to be using him from now on for sure. However, I do have another pickle though. We were talking about cooling, AC, cooling, heating, all that stuff. And so he decided to come downstairs to look at my oil burner. And the reason why I asked him to do that was because I actually had a leak in there a couple of years ago, and some dude, he came and put like this oatmeal crap in the line, and he says this will last you about a year, but you may need a new burner. And so I'm like, crap, you know. So he went down to take a look at it, and he says, yeah, you've been lucky to get away with it for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? But then while we were standing there, I was looking at my water heater. My water heater had this like bubble on the top, what looked like paint, you know? And so turns out that there's a little pinhole rust spot right in there. And he says, man, oh man, 2-3 days, that thing could be leaking water all over your basement. You'll be making an insurance claim. So I'm like, shoot. So you might have to come and replace my water heater. My water tank, you know, hot water tank. Anyway,
you got to do that. You know, I've lived here for 18 years without major problems, so it's about time. You know, even if you wanted to sell your house in a few years, you know, it's good to have new equipment in there anyway. You know, so you just got to pay. You know what I mean? You just got to do it. There's nothing around it. Anyway, so look, I put this back, right? I cleaned the insides, and as you see, the brushes were held back by these keepers that I made, and we put it back now, and I just pull it out. See? Since the keepers are on here now. It's obvious. The big one goes here, that one goes there, and then you line these up with the studs like that. Really pretty easy to service a starter motor for a lawn tractor, you know. I was always intimidated by doing it, but then after watching YouTube and other dudes doing it, it didn't really look all that difficult, so I decided to just take one that wasn't working apart just to, you know, fiddle with it and stuff, and easy for me to say, right? I gotta line up these holes. There we go. The biggest pain in the ass is basically just making the brushes touch without, you know, so you got to make these things, you know. Go watch Taro's video. He teaches you how to make them. So I think 1 1/4 long here, inch of those stems coming down, you know. Pretty easy. So this one should work well now, this starter. So I'll have like 3 starters I can mess with. You're always going to need starters, you know. Oh, that didn't really seem like it keeps on going and stuff. Like it doesn't tighten. It doesn't tighten. Either it doesn't tighten or I have the wrong one in here. I might have the wrong one. Yeah, that's how you fix a starter. Yep, it's the wrong one. There we go. Got to make it tight. There we go. So here, that's a starter. Oh, I'm not quite done yet. I need to get the top parts. Well, I was looking for my spring and I can't find it, you know, but I don't really need this, you know, immediately, so I'm sure it'll turn up someday. It's in this mess somewhere, but, you know, I wanted to put this back on just to show you. This top part goes like that, okay? Now this is the metal gear. You need the metal gear for the metal flywheels. The aluminum flywheels need the plastic. So when I took this off, this part here was on like that. It's supposed to be on like this. The groove that turns upward has to be like that. Not like that, you know. It has to be like that. So it's upward. A spring goes there. I think the spring may go in first and then you put this on, but then this thing goes on here. And then you gotta shove this damn thing in there, which is difficult to do. But try to do it with some pliers or something. But I gotta find that spring, so I don't even know if I want to put this back on because it's a pain to get off, you know. I want to put it on just to show you, but you know. Maybe I should keep it off because it is a pain to get on. Really a pain. It's got to be an easier way. You know, I'm just going to stick it here because I know if I find that spring, I'm going to have to take this off again. So, anyway, you get the picture, right? So anyway, I just pretty much cleaned up the inside here. We built that starter. I'm pretty sure it'll work better now. It was mostly just dust and stuff that caused it to be weak. Anyway, that's how you fix a starter. And my AC's fixed, but now I got a bigger can of worms now. But that's what happens, right? You fix one thing, you find out you got to fix some other stuff. So as you guys know, I was messing with this the other day, and the revs were really bad. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't sure of the linkage and everything. Well, then I remembered that these Tecumsehs comes with a little spring. See that? Well, I didn't have a spring because this didn't come with one, right? So I found a spring in my box of parts. I have to put that back on there. Easiest way to remove it is the intake manifold. 2 screws. Phillips. If you had an impact, it's much easier. So this is just wrong, you know what I'm saying? I had it all wrong. This goes into this hole, right? And then I have to put this bar in there, right? And hook this on the second hole there. So that's what I gotta do. And just looking, check this out. This doesn't even have a bolt in there. Is that retarded or what? Doesn't even have it. Maybe leaking out. Try stuffing that in there. I don't think it's going to work. I'll just put it in like that. Henry, why is it so goddamn dark in your garage? Because it's just dark. You know what? Let's do this. This doesn't even fit. That hole's so small. I think I have the wrong bolt. I think I got the right one now. I should have turned off. Should have clamped off my thing. It's tough. Okay. This goes like that. This one goes like that. It's a Z-bend. And this goes into this hole. That ought to do it. So now you got tension returning it back. See, now we got the spring here. You can adjust the tension of the spring for the governor. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of movement though, because I adjusted the governor to accommodate it without the spring, see? And this hose, this fuel line is So I just adjusted the governor. I'll show you how to do it. I'm not going to do it actually, but I'm just show you what I did. I need 2 hands and my tripod's not low enough. So if you look at it now, so basically there's a flathead screw here. You loosen it. That loosens this governor lever loose from this governor shaft part here, right? So this thing turns all the way that way. I turned this thing all the way that way to the left, okay, until it couldn't go anymore. At the same time, I moved this lever all the way forward so that it goes like that, okay, and then tighten this screw again so that there's room for it to move like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you can't screw it up, you just, because if you did it the other way, this wouldn't move at all, you know, so you could only go to the left. Push the throttle all the way and then tighten the bolt. That way you know that this has the correct play. This is low throttle, that's high throttle. Low throttle, high throttle. If you did it the other way, this wouldn't move at all, see? So you know you did it right. There was another thing. This thing doesn't prime. At least I don't think it does. It primes, but then it leaks, you know? So I think I have a blockage somewhere. But I'll mess with this another day because this is not a priority. But this carburetor's bad, you know? So I'm going to try to rebuild another one. I've got like so many Tecumseh parts, you know, I could make one that works right. I saw an interesting thing. If your Tecumseh doesn't prime, right? I've seen people say that if you don't have this screw into this hole, it won't prime. But this, obviously, the screw is in there. It's just, it's a blockage, or this carburetor sucks. You know, it's one of those things. I hate the Tecumsehs. I'm sure you guys would agree with me. Pain in the ass. And there you go. Now it doesn't rev high. It just needed some starting fluid to start, you know. So we know that primer is not working. So if I just switched out that carburetor, it would be fine. Carburetor's like $10, but honestly, I have so many carburetors I could build one, you know. But do I want to for just $10? Maybe I should just go buy one for $10. You know what I'm saying? And then this thing would work. So that governor reset was good, and adding that spring was the key to having the RPMs just right, you know. So I'll probably just do that. But then again, I need an air filter and assembly too, and a top cover for the engine. You know, I don't want to spend a lot of money for this piece of junk. You know what I'm saying? But it is self-propelled. It does work. It does have a bagger, so that's good money right there. 125, something like that. Anyway, so that's the video for today. Just fix the starter and fix that one. Just run-of-the-mill stuff. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Also, follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on the next one. Have a great day.
Henry, next time on Blowers and...
See, you just screwed that all up. Alright, take 2.
Henry, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Yeah.